It's your crazy hair teacher again. Second story of this week. We're going to focus on story sequence. What happens first, next, and last, all right? Now, I know you've already had a worksheet to work on that, but let's go ahead and look at our chart before we get started with our story. On the board here, I have our first, next, and last. And then I have some boxes right next to it because reading this story, we're going to talk about a special insect, okay, and how their life changes, all right, as time goes by, just like time or our life changes as time goes by for us, all right. First, we start off as a baby, and then we grow to be a toddler and a little kid, and then we become a teenager and then an adult, all right? And we grow. Remember, we don't just stay like babies, as nice as that sounds, but growing is a part of our life, okay? So we're going to learn about a butterfly and a caterpillar in our story. So let's get started. From Caterpillar to Butterfly by Deborah Heligman, illustrated by Barry Weissman. Here we go. I'm going to turn it around so you can see it all. Today, a caterpillar came to school in a jar. It is eating green leaves. It is climbing and wiggling. This tiny caterpillar is going to change. It will change into a beautiful butterfly. And if we look a little closer, here's our caterpillar right here. You think the kids are excited? I'd be excited too. Caterpillars usually turn into butterflies outdoors. They live in gardens and meadows and yards. But we will watch our caterpillar change into a butterfly right here in our classroom. This change is called metamorphosis. And this is the result after the metamorphosis. Our caterpillar started out as a tiny egg. The mother butterfly laid the egg on a leaf. And here's a leaf that shows the tiny eggs. They're really small. When the caterpillar hatched out of the egg, it was hungry. It ate its way out of its own eggshell. Then it started to eat green plants right away. There he goes, eating up the leaves. A caterpillar's job is to eat and eat and eat, so it will grow and grow and grow. Kind of like how some of you kiddos like to do. I'm sure your parents say, all you do is eat, eat, eat. Each day when we come into school, we look at our caterpillar. Each day it gets bigger. Let's see. Look how big he is now. I like this here. It says, the caterpillar eats and grows for 12 to 14 days. Wow, that's 2 weeks. So they eat for 14 days to get bigger and bigger. Oh, here he is. Our skin grows with us, but a caterpillar's skin does not grow. When the caterpillar gets too big for its skin, the skin splits down the back. The caterpillar crawls right out of its own skin. It has new skin underneath. This is called molting. Our caterpillar will molt for 4 or 5 times. That's a lot of molting. There he is. Look how big he is compared to the leaf. Remember when he was just itty bitty? After many days, our caterpillar is finished growing. It is much bigger than when it first came to school. It is almost as big as my little finger now. Look at him. Our caterpillar is making a special house. First, it makes a button of silk. It uses this button to hang upside down from a twig. Then it molts for the last time. Instead of new skin, this time there is a hard shell. This shell is called a chrysalis. our caterpillar will stay inside the chrysalis for a long time. There he goes, in the chrysalis. Having a hard time turning the page. Every day, the chrysalis looks the same. We can't see anything happening, but inside the chrysalis, our caterpillar is changing. So there he is, and another name for a chrysalis would be a cocoon. So he's in his cocoon. Will our caterpillar ever turn into a butterfly? Will it ever come out of its chrysalis? We can hardly wait, but we do. We wait and wait and wait. So what I like here is that it says the caterpillar stays in the chrysalis about 1 week. That's 7 days. Then one day during snack time, somebody shouts, "Look!" And we all rush over to see. Look, it's starting to crack. The chrysalis is cracking. We see a head, a body, and then wings. It's a butterfly. The tiny caterpillar who came to school in a jar turned into a painted lady butterfly, and we saw it happen. Our butterfly is damp and crumbled. It hangs onto the chrysalis while its wings flap, flap, flap. Blood pumps into its wings. The wings straighten out and dry. Soon our butterfly will be ready to fly. Cool, and I like this. This is an interesting fact. In 2 hours, the wings are dry and the butterfly is ready to fly. Look at him hanging upside down. Our butterfly cannot stay in the jar. It needs to be outside with flowers and grass and trees and other butterflies. It is a warm spring day. I put my finger into the jar. The butterfly sits on my finger. I pull it out and our butterfly goes free. We feel a little sad and a little happy. We watch our butterfly land on a flower. It will sip the flower's nectar through a long coiled tube called a proboscis. Maybe it is a female butterfly. Maybe someday she will lay an egg on a leaf. I know just what will happen then. That egg will hatch into a caterpillar, and that caterpillar will turn into a beautiful butterfly. The end. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over our story sequence, okay? More so the life cycle of our butterfly, because we can't do one thing before we do another, right? She can't be a butterfly and then go into a chrysalis. Things have an order, okay? You wouldn't eat dinner before you go to school, okay? Remember, everything has an order. So let's go ahead and write our order together. All right, so the first thing our butterfly, or actually our caterpillar, does is our caterpillar, oops, that's an E. Our caterpillar hatches out of an egg. All right, that's the first process when a caterpillar is born, right? He hatches out of the egg. Then next, after the caterpillar has eaten his leaf and he starts growing and growing, what does he make? Yes, he will make a special house called does anybody remember? It's a big word. It's a chrysalis. Very good. Does anybody remember the other name for a chrysalis? Another name could be a cocoon. Very good. All right, and then our last thing, after that caterpillar has been born, he ate his leaves, and he made his special house called a chrysalis, and he's in the chrysalis for about a week. What's the last thing that happens? Very good. A butterfly hatches out of the chrysalis. All right, so here we have our order, our first, our next, and our last, okay? Now keep in mind, everything has an order to it. So remember that when you're doing your worksheets today and for the rest of the week. When you're reading the story, make sure you're thinking about what happens first, next, last, all right? This is gonna help you with your comprehension. That means the understanding of what the author wants you to know, all right? So go ahead and get started, and I will see you later. Bye, guys.